Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. A papa bear, a mama bear, and a baby bear. And every morning they would make porridge. They would get their big old cast iron pot and they would stir the porridge and stir the porridge. Then they would go over here and they would get some honey or molasses to put in their porridge. And they would stir in the honey or molasses. Then they go over here and get some raisins. They get their raisins over here and they sprinkle them in and then they stirred it. And then Daddy Bear would try it. Woo-wee! That is way too hot to eat. Let's try to cool it down with some pranayama breathing. Inhale. One more time. Oh boy, that's still hot. We better take a walk through the forest and let this cool down. So that's what the 3 bears did. They went out in the forest and took a long walk. Let's get into bear position. Let's come on into down dog and walk like a bear. And those bears walked through the forest in tree pose. Well, while they were gone, a little girl with golden curls came a-knocking. Hello, hello, is anyone home? My feet are tired. I need something to eat. I need to sit down. So the little girl with golden curls let herself into the house. She came over to the porridge and she looked at it and she said, that looks good. Then she came over to the table and went into table pose. Put your hands behind you with your arms facing forward and pop up into table pose. She tried Daddy Bear's porridge first. Too hot. So then she came down and she moved over to Mama Bear's porridge. She popped up into table pose again, this time raising one leg up for Mama Bear's porridge. And then she came down because that was like ice cubes. It was way too cold. Well, then she popped up into table pose again, raised the other leg and tried Baby Bear's porridge. And that porridge was just right. So she came into her eating position and she got low and she buried her face in that bowl. And then she wiped her face on her arm because we already know she doesn't have any manners. So then she said, oh, I need to go rest by the fire. And she looked over and she saw some really, really cozy chairs. So we're going to roll and stand up and sit down in some chairs. Let's do it once and twice and then stand up on 3. She stands up. Then she goes over to the chairs and she tries Papa Bear's chair. And she sat down in it like this in chair pose. And she sat in Papa Bear's chair and she said, oh my gosh, this is like sitting on a bag of rocks. And so she got up. That's too darn hard. She went over to Mama Bear's chair. She put her arms by her ears and she sat down again and she said, oh, that's like sitting on a bag of marshmallows. That is too darn soft. So she went over to Baby Bear's chair, put her arms behind her, stretched them out behind her, sat down in the chair, and that chair was just right. So cozy until crack, crack, crack. She broke Baby Bear's chair. Well, who cares about that? Maybe it wasn't well made anyway. So then she got really tired. And she went upstairs to the beds. Let's lie down. She tried Papa Bear's bed first. Raise up one leg and grab that toe with your 2 fingers. And she laid on Papa Bear's bed. That is so hard, it's like sleep number 5,000. I could never sleep on this. So then she puts that leg down and tries Mama Bear's bed. Raise that leg up, grab it with your 2 fingers. Mama Bear's bed is too soft. That thing has no back support. I could never sleep on that. So she puts that leg down. Then she goes over to Baby Bear's bed. Raise up those 2 legs and come into happy baby pose. And she got so cozy because it was just right that she rolled over and fell asleep. Well, who do you think came back? It was their house. The bears came back. Let's get back into bear pose. Down dog and roar like a bear. Well, when the bears came back, they surveyed the scene. All the porridge was a mess. Baby Bear's chair was totally broken and in pieces. And then they heard snoring from upstairs. So they went upstairs using their high knees. 1 leg up, 2 legs up, 3 legs up. When they got to the top of the stairs, they saw a little girl with golden curls sleeping in Baby Bear's bed. So they all got down real low and they said, "Excuse me, little girl." And do you know what that little girl did? She jumped up. Ah! And she ran all the way home through the forest. And she never, ever went into someone else's house without asking again. Let's end with a forward bend. The end.